Yeah, that last video cut out, and I wrote it into the Shobi. But rather than do that, let me. I think a lot of people would get it better this way. So let me explain. So what I was about to tell you is that the pen, if I would like to use, or my cell phone, I would want to use it to hold it as a bookmark or for my workbook. Then I could do that on Shabbat. Why? Because the pen, I'm using it for something that I'm allowed to do. Second thing, why am I allowed to move something that is muktzeh? A kli shemalachta le'isser, that its main purpose is for something that I'm not allowed to do on Shabbat. If let's say it's disturbing the place, for example, if let's say I have one of my kids came along, a young baby comes along and scatters a bunch of crayons on the table, and it's all set for a Shabbos meal. Now I don't want those crayons there for the Shabbos meal, so I'm allowed to take those crayons and move them off the Shabbos table, even though the crayons are muktzeh. But this is only important. This is only true about a kli shemalachto le'isser, something that the main purpose, the reason why it's muktzeh is because its main purpose is to do something which is not allowed to be done on Shabbos. But if let's say my kid came in and they took a whole thing of leaves from outside and played with went all over the Shabbos table, then those leaves are muktzeh because they're not an object at all. They have no purpose at all. They're not set up for a purpose. So there, I'm not allowed to pick them up with my hand and remove them. Again, I could use my body to get rid of them, okay? So I could, fine, that I could do. But it's not so easy, but that would be the halacha. Okay. I want to go also further now. On go to page 22. I want to go through some of the most common types of muktzeh. Number one is what's called a muktzeh machmat gufo, because of its body. Guf is a body. Its whole body is muktzeh. What that means to say, that's like the rak, like the leaves. They have no purpose. They're not set up for any purpose at all. They're not a keli. A pen is a keli. It's an object. It just can't be used on Shabbat for its main purpose. But a rak isn't good any day, and therefore it's more severe. So it is muktzeh because of its body. That's what muktzeh machmas gufo means. This means that it is a thing that doesn't have a clear usage at all. The blank is a usage. You might find it a useful purpose, but it isn't prepared for any specific purpose. For example, a pebble or sand at the sea, a branch on the floor, and a broken piece of glass all have no prepared purpose. This is a very strong type of muktzeh. It can't be moved for any usage. There are still two exceptions. If it is lying in a place where people can get hurt, so being that the Chachamim made this rule, the Chachamim also could make their exceptions to the rule. And they said if somebody could get hurt, then we don't want it to be there. For example, a glass is broken on your dining room floor. You may move it, even with your hands if you need be. Or, the second thing is if it's gross. For example, let's say you have a garbage bag lying in the kitchen, or a dirty diaper. For these, right, a dirty diaper has no purpose, right, except to take it in like bother your older sister or something like that. But I do not suggest, you should not do that. But if, for example, both of these are muktzeh machmat gufo, their bodies have no usage, still it could be moved if they're disturbing you. So you're allowed to take the garbage and bring it to a place that is no longer disturbing. An object, a kli shemalachto le'isser, in the second category, is an object that's main usage is for something that you can't be done on Shabbat. Meaning that if the object is used mainly to make a phone call, like a phone, to cut a piece of paper, like a scissors, to write, a pen, pencil, crayons, all things that are not allowed to be performed on Shabbat are muktzeh. It may not be moved for no purpose. However, they are a lighter form of muktzeh because they are prepared as objects. Just their purpose is only for weekdays. Items like this can be moved for two main reasons, and this we really discussed in the last video. To use for something that is permitted, we're on page 23 by the way, for something that is permitted, for example, if you wish to use a scissor that's used to cut paper, you may use it to cut, what do you think? Number two, it is blocking or hurting the usage of a place that you wish to use. For example, if you have a on a chair and you wish to sit on the chair, you can pick it up and remove it. Okay. Important Muktzeh rule. According to many poskim are the wise men knowledgeable enough to decide halacha. You are allowed to move Muktzeh in an unusual manner, such as with your foot. Here we go. Page 24. We'll get to it in a different video.